We are no strangers here at Motor Rider World when it comes to riding the KTM 1290 Superduke, having tested all three generations, right up from the 2014 to 2016 first generation, 2017 to 2019 second generation, and finally the 2020 to the current day generation. However, KTM have taken it one step further on the third generation KTM 1290 Superduke, and they have called it the KTM 1290 Superduke R EVO. Okay, yes, I'll be the first to admit, not much has changed on the EVO. But as the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. By adding intuitive WP top-shelf semi-active suspension, the KTM 1290R promises to excel at both road and track, and that's exactly where we put it to the test. Over the years, the heart of the beast, the 1301cc LC8V twin motor, has been optimized to be lighter while still obtaining near class-leading stats. The ferocious 180 horsepower and 140 Newton meters of torque are and always have been what makes a 1290 Superduke a beast. The R EVO uses a 6-speed Penkel manufactured gearbox with a powered-assisted slipper clutch to round out the package. While riding, the roar from the excitable motor, combined with the aftermarket SE Project slip-on exhaust, sings a war cry with every decibel, penetrating your heart and soul, making you ride like you never thought you could ride, and popping and banging along the way. The chromoly tubular space frame has also evolved over the years, becoming stiffer and lighter, still using the motor as a means to increase torsional rigidity. This is what gives the Duke its sporty, yet comfortable riding position and unrivaled handling. Although stiffness is the name of the game, the Superduke R is still soft and plush enough out on the roads where you need it to be without compromising stiffness and rigidity out on the track. The EVO takes us one step further now with the addition of a 48mm upside down WP semi-active suspension up front with 125mm of travel and a WP semi-active rear shock with 140mm of travel. This addition makes the 1290 EVO more adaptable and usable than ever before. Now, at the flick of a switch, you can alter settings via the easy-to-use and navigate KTM system. The suspension feels less intrusive and conventional when comparing it to other electronic suspensions on the market. It is electronically controlled and uses pulse width modulation stroke sensors, which offer finer and more responsive stroke signals and faster reaction and adjustment times, leaving you as the rider with just the simple task of riding. The settings are extensive and include damping adjustment, auto, high, low or standard, sport, street, comfort and track. Out on the road, I found myself either riding in comfort or sport. Comfort soaks up the bumps well, giving you the illusion that you are riding a sports tourer and not a fire-breathing, rigid, naked beast. Sport mode is stiffer, more precise, more sharp and more direct around corners, offering better feedback as well as a more consistent feel, although not as subtle and soft as comfort mode. There is also an advanced setting where you can alter damping, preload and anti-dive, to name a few. Now, I never delved into the manual settings, but rather into the default ones, as who am I to doubt the WP suspension wizards at KTM? For the track, I simply selected track mode, which stiffened up the compression and adjusted the preload and rebound settings accordingly. I also played around with the anti-dive setting and found it better to leave on rather than off, which gave me better control under braking and slowing down coming into corners, reducing the amount of dive on the front end while braking. the possibilities and adjustments are endless. And with more time, I do believe that we could have got the setup just right. However, saying that, the default settings offered by WP and KTM came pretty darn close. The Evo felt familiar out on track, and you would have to look pretty hard to find any difference between this and a normal 1290 Gen 3. As you ride though is when you will feel and notice the changes KTM have brought to the table. Unfortunately, this particular demo wasn't fitted with the optional tech pack as yet, so we were limited to only having the street, sports and rain mode. Even so, we managed to set competitive lap times of 2:03s around Red Star Raceway, and even managed to put some fully race prep thousands on race rubber to shame. The Evo made this task simple by combining rigidity with feedback and control, making sure that I never missed an apex and held the line with relative ease. Subtle styling and color changes on the Evo make it as light and strong as possible without losing any of the 1290's charisma and aggression that we have come to adore over the years. The new KTM 1290 Superduke R EVO is exactly what it says in its name, an evolution of an already perfect machine. Priced from just under 372,000 Rand, the new Evo is now not only ready to race, but also ready to ride.